What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. And in this one, we are going to see and judge who has the worst acne, me or these other people that I found photos of. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. All right, so first photo, as you can see, this is me when my acne was at its worst. So I had lots of cysts. You can see these big marble-sized, nodules under the skin, very noticeable, very red. My face was always inflamed, had a lot of blackheads. You can't necessarily see those very well in this photo, but my cysts were probably the most severe part of it, which I think puts me, on a pretty high severity level. I also had a lot of whiteheads and stuff, but cystic acne. So now you know what I look like. Let's look at some other people and see who has worse acne. Okay, so the first person we're gonna compare with is somebody that I found on the internet. I think her name is Sophia. And as you can see in this photo, she's got a lot of acne on her face. Her acne looks a little bit less cystic than mine, not as big of nodules, but she definitely has, I would say, more marks than me, like just more plentiful. It looks like she also has quite a bit of texture to her face because of her acne. So I don't know. What would you say about this one? Do I have more severe or does she have more severe? Brian or Sophia? Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so I wanted to find a guy. So I went randomly on Instagram and found a guy. His name's Brandon Marshall. And here we have a picture of his face. On the left, you can see it's the before. So here's what we can judge. I would say I definitely take the cake on this one, but it's up to you guys. And if we look at his face, he has a bit of texture there. He has obviously a couple marks and stuff. It's by no means is he clear or anything like that, or is his acne completely mild, but he doesn't have big cystic acne like I did. His face isn't as red as the previous girl, Sophia, I think her name was. I think I would take the cake on this one. What do you guys think? Brian or Brandon? All right, the last one we're gonna compare it to is a girl named Abby. So Abby, here's a picture of her acne. Definitely some harsh lighting, so it really lights up her acne, makes it even more red. She has the kind of acne that I've had in the past where you have some darkness, some purple that comes from your acne. I've had that before, somewhere around my ears especially, but not in the picture that I showed you. So her acne definitely cystic, definitely lots of it, a lot of pigmentation or erythema rather, which is the redness. Yeah, and it's a bit more striking because of those dark marks. So on this one, I don't know. Do I have worse acne or does she? Let me know. And now that we've looked at all of the photos, who do you think had the worst acne out of all four of us? I really want to know in the comments below. Okay. I have to actually admit something to you guys. I know all three of these other people, they're actually really good friends of mine in the acne community. And this video is really just because I knew people would click on this because people are addicted to drama. People wanted to see who has the worst acne, who has the most severe acne that you wouldn't want, who would you want your face to look like the least, right? And I knew people were gonna come in here because psychologically, so many people crave that drama. But what I really wanted to do was use this video to highlight that fact and highlight two much more important points, and I think all three of my friends would absolutely agree with what I'm about to say here. Number one, it is extremely important not to compare yourself to others in order to seek happiness. So when you have a problem, and obviously in this one, let's say acne is something that is causing the problem of having low self-esteem. What we'll do often is go on the internet and look for people with worse acne than ours, and somehow we think that that's going to validate that our acne isn't as bad as that person's, and then that's going to somehow magically turn something in our mind that says, you're happier now with what you have. Your self-esteem issues aren't so bad. And that seems like it's going to make sense at first until you actually go in and start looking at people's photos. And what you do is you're just going to make yourself feel worse. You're going to find people who have, in your mind, acne that's more severe and less severe. But no matter what, at the end of the day, you're not going to feel better because you did it. You are still going to be sitting there with the same self-esteem issues that you had before. So instead of focusing on other people, focus on what you can do in your life to make yourself happier. And that doesn't necessarily have to be clearing your skin. Maybe it is. Maybe that's part of it, and maybe you do want to focus on clearing your skin. But maybe it's starting self-care habits like exercising, drinking more water, getting a better sleep routine, or maybe it's analyzing who in your friendships are comparing you to other people and causing you to constantly be thinking about yourself versus other people. So you can audit those friends, get them out of your life. But really, the most important point about this fact is that stop comparing yourself to other people, focus on yourself, and focus on what's gonna make you happier in the long run. Secondly, and really the strongest point that I wanted to bring up, is that you have no right to judge how severe someone else's problem is, and you have no right to judge whether they're justified in their struggles and their self-esteem issues because of that problem. But this is something that is so common, not only in the acne and skin, communities, but literally on a local level. Like when I was going through high school, there wasn't this acne community online, but constantly people were, picking apart whether or not that kid's life is really that bad to be depressed, or if that person really has that bad of acne. And so often what you'll find is that, you are personally struggling with acne, and then someone will say, you only have like a couple of pimples. It's not that bad. Or look at that guy, his acne is way worse. Look at that guy, his, not even acne, his whatever is way worse. His situation's way worse than yours, so I don't even know what you're complaining about. So basically like just diminishing your struggles because there's somebody who has it worse. And that is the worst way to approach life and the struggles that you're going through, because somebody always has it worst. We've heard this phrase a million times. No matter what situation you're looking at, even if it's the most dire, terrible situation ever, you can always say, but somebody has it worse. And so that is not an excuse or a statement that causes you to not be able to focus on your own improvement or focus on your own mental health and happiness, right? Just because somebody has it worse. And unfortunately, this is something that's so common in the acne community. I remember so many times when I would post about my acne and people would say, yeah, but it's not that bad. I don't know why you're making a big deal. Or even more recently, once I've been able to clear up my acne even more and I continued to make acne videos, people would say the same thing. They'd be like, well, I don't understand why this guy who only has a couple pimples or has a clear face is talking about acne and making such a big deal about it. And, I have videos where I cry because I'm recalling some of the stories I've gone through and people are like, I don't understand why this guy's crying. So it's just it's a bad thing to do in general for other people, because you're imposing your own stupid beliefs on them, but also it's bad for yourself because you put yourself in this terrible mind state where you're not allowed to have any struggles or problems, which makes it so that you think you're a stronger person because you never complain, but actually what you're doing is never addressing your own self-esteem issues and causing yourself to put up an obstacle in the path of your own progression. So actually what you're doing is stopping yourself from moving forward, when if you would just be a bit more open and accepting of everybody's struggles and your own, you'd be able to progress farther. One of the important things I think is that when it's your own struggle, because you focus on it so much, it feels as bad as anyone else's struggle because you're dealing with it. In your life, this could be the hardest thing that you've struggled with so far. It doesn't matter that someone has it 10 times more severe than you. You are still keeping yourself indoors, keeping yourself away from friends, not living your life to the fullest, not talking to the person you have a crush on, or going to dances, or doing events and things that you should be doing. But to you, this issue that you're dealing with is debilitating. So let's stop diminishing ourselves and other people's problems and just accept that we're all struggling with different things. And the struggle is real. And what we should do is encourage each other to move forward, make a plan on how to improve how you feel about yourself and how to deal with your struggles and cause your struggles to actually empower you and strengthen you over time. So there we go. As a bit of a rant, but I really needed to get this out because so many times I've seen this happen and it really bugs me. So I hope you guys agree with me. If you do, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Had to clickbait you a little bit in the beginning and you probably were thinking like, what is Brian doing right now? But there was a point to it. On another note, if your acne scarring and your discolorations that you've had because of your active acne in the past is bothering you and you do want to improve that, I personally use a really awesome skincare brand called Banish. It's all cruelty-free, vegan. They make everything every single week, so it's all fresh, all the active ingredients, and it's helped my acne scarring and my pigmentation, my erythema, my dark spots and my red spots go away massively. So if you guys do want to check them out, I highly recommend them. You can use my code Brian5, $5 off your first order of 50 or more. Link is in the description below. Definitely check them out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments below yourself. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Remember, you are not alone, you are beautiful, and you're part of Team Acne. I'll see you skin bosses in the next video.